back to the daily grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Chael P. Sonnen, one of my personal favorite MMA personalities, is going to be fighting in the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix. He's actually going to be kicking off the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix versus Quentin Rampage Jackson January 20th. And just, I believe, like 12 days from now, it's January 20th. So, with that being said, he said that he will not retire with the Bellator tournament title win. He's not just going to win the heavyweight title and walk away out on top like, say, a George St. Pierre. He says, I'm going to exit the sport face down and embarrassed. That's how Chael Sonnen, and if you've listened to his podcast, which I am an avid listener, hashtag bring Joel back, he's talked about this many times on his podcast. He doesn't care about legacy. He plans on going out whenever his body, whenever he gets pushed out of the sport. He's not trying to build some grand legacy and go out of the sport as a hero. And we all know Chael Sonnen's not going to go out let's be honest. Chael Sonnen probably couldn't go out as a hero if he wanted to, even though a lot of people like me still, got love for Chael Sonnen. He's always probably going to be the bad guy. Now, this is what he had to say. He said, George St. Pierre is one of the guys, and he's talking about who went out on top. He said, but he gave him every chance in the world to beat him. He gave guys rematches, and some guys got 3 matches. He changed weight. He did everything he could do to get beat and pass the torch. He was just that damn good. And aside from him and Lennox Lewis, I can't think of anyone that goes out on top. We all our careers in the same, face down and embarrassed, and I think I'm going to follow that suit on that. I said, and I think I'm going to follow suit on that. I don't want to leave anything on the table. And hey, a lot of people, anything Chael Sonnen says, people, oh, fake news, Chael Sonnen, fucking, you can't even listen to any word he says because he lies and he cheats and he steals and blah, blah, blah. People, if you're one of those people, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, to Chael Sonnen's point, when he says he's going to go out on his shield, essentially, he's in a fucking heavyweight tournament right now, a heavyweight title tournament with Fedor and Frank Mir and Rampage Jackson, who he's got in the first match. I mean, he's very well likely could get tore up in one of these fights versus a heavyweight, even though some of these guys aren't legitimate heavyweights, you could say. But Chael Sonnen is a guy that, he's a legend of the sport regardless, UFC, whether it's, and it's not just because of his fighting, you know what I'm saying? He's a guy that was Conor McGregor before Conor McGregor with the trash talk. He's one of the people that showed a lot of people, hey, you can sell fights this way too. And even if he wasn't the first to be the villain, he was one of the first people to start letting people know, hey, dummies, you can make money by being the bad guy. And with that being said, I'm looking forward to Chael Sonnen's fight versus Rampage Jackson. I've went back and forth on that fight. When I first made my bracket prediction, I picked Chael P. Sonnen, but the closer we get, I'm just having, as a wrestler and going against a bigger guy, his wrestling advantage might not be there as it usually is, but at the same time, he could just take Rampage down. I don't know which way to go in that fight on Bellator 192, Rory McDonald versus Douglas Lima, on the same night of UFC 220, Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic. Bellator is free, UFC is pay-per-view, and I'm going to be watching them both. I know I am, so I'm interested to see. Let me know which one you guys are going to be watching. I know some of you have already let me know you're going to be watching both. Some of you are probably just going to be watching whichever, Bellator because it's free. And some of you, hey, I don't know. It is what it is. But to be fair, UFC 220, I was going to get off the video, but UFC 220 is interesting. UFC 220 is stacked for hardcore fans, but to the casual audience, it's only the main event and co-main event. You've got Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou, and then you've got Daniel Cormier and Volkan Ozdemir, and then on the rest of the card, I mean, you've got Rob Font versus Thomas Almeida, and other than that, man, I mean, there's not really much of a casual draw to the card, so a lot of people might choose to go with the free MMA option on the same night with big names. There's a lot of big names. Aaron Pico's on the Bellator card. Michael Chandler versus Goiti Yamauchi's on the Bellator card. Chael Sonnen and Rampage, and of course the welterweight title, Roy McDonald versus Douglas Lima. So we've got a dope 2018 coming up, even an early 2018. Usually it's the end of the year you're excited about, but the beginning of the year is just as stacked as far as I'm concerned. With that being said, it is what it is. Chael Sonnen said he's not going to retire even if he wins the Bellator tournament. He's going down, face down, and embarrassed. Let the full-time fan know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
da da da. It's the motherfucking D-O double G.